Welcome to the House Files.
Okay, so what's the update?
So,
Besides this extremely long thing that I just had to step over.
the yard's a bit of a mess, but inside has been so much wiring, plumbing, and mechanical, all the rough and stuff is happening right now. We're at the tail end of it, not quite done yet, but there's so many wires. It's so great. Starting with these little wires on the front, which is for the door intercom system, which I'm so excited about. We're gonna have a little button pad here with a camera and a doorbell and a speaker. So you'll walk up, press the doorbell, it'll ring upstairs and on the roof and in my studio over there. And you can talk to the person at the door, see them, press a button to unlock.
Aaron, it's very important that you also mention what is missing from the yard.
The giant tree,
There was a tree there.
RIP. Yeah, the tree,
There's no more tree.
the crabapple tree was not a great tree to begin with, but it was also in the way of,
You can see how much the yard is not level because it's a sloped lot, and essentially the tree that was there was interfered with a bunch of things. But I'm not happy about this, and I just want it known.
we're gonna get a better tree.
The better tree is the one that's already been growing there for 30 years.
A better tree that's more appropriate for the new weather that we have here, and also does not drop rotten fruit in every year in the fall. So it'll be fine. But yeah, so many wires. I want to go through all the wires, but that's probably too much because there's so many wires. But let's go up to your office because that's
Broad overviews. What is this giant board behind you?
just a piece of drywall. I don't know why it's here. It may have been part of doing the drywall in the dumbwaiter because they had to do that drywall shaft first because of the weird order. But yeah, we did a walkthrough of placing all of the lights and the switches. So that was a couple of weeks ago. And also then all of the network. So it's been a combination of watching all that stuff get filled in. Your office up here is looking in pretty good shape. Every now and then
Guess what's still not fixed?
Oh, they still haven't fixed the window, and that was a wire through, but that'll fix that soon. Probably this week, actually. So I've been every now and then coming through here and taking a look at the wiring and being like, okay, is that in the right spot? Is that connected right? And had to go back and forth on a few things every now and then, but overall it's been pretty good. In here, I think the big highlight is this is where that bookcase, built-in bookcase is gonna go on this back wall. And this is an in-cabinet network and power outlet for your printer. Specially built for the printer. Because there's this bench seating here, this outlet's up higher than normal, so that's why that's up there. You have these sconces on the wall and 4 can lights. Oh, this is something that we...
And a chandelier.
Oh yeah, and a chandelier. So there's 3 switches for the room, because why not? This is something that was interesting. These can lights, they're LED little discs now, and instead of bulbs that you screw in to a giant cavity. So they're supposed to last 10 years. We'll see how long.
I feel like they always claim things last 10 years and then
maybe it's 5. We'll see. Supposedly they're really easy to replace, although it's a little bit harder. It's not quite the same as replacing a bulb, but still not that bad. But they come in 4 or 6 inch sizes, and everybody says that the 4-inch ones look classier, look like more higher end than the 6-inch ones. So we were trying to balance where do we want the 4-inch ones to go and where do we want the 6-inch ones to go, which do have more light. So now I can't even remember all the final decisions on that.
It's okay. If it wasn't if you don't remember it, it wasn't interesting to most of our
That's fair.
viewers.
That's fair. You might notice on the top of every doorway, why are there network wires? Well, why not? Because you can't put these in afterwards, but it's not that big of a deal to do now. My plan with these is basically every door will have a door open-close sensor on it. And yes, 2 wires is overkill for that. You really only need a pair of wires for that. But if you're running a wire, you might as well run 2 because it doesn't add anything to the cost really. So
this is Aaron's philosophy with everything in this house.
Yes. I stand by it. Every door here has an open-close sensor, which means we're going to be able to have so much fun with automations. Doing automations of like when you open the bathroom door, turn on the light, or when you open the office door, or if doors are open, do certain things. Anyway, it'll be fun. We'll get to that part much later. You want to come in here really quick because this is a fun thing to see. This is the mass of wires. Every wire, network, data, television, and blinds land in this closet. And I got the quote for the low voltage guys to run these wires, and I did not ask them to terminate them because it's expensive to do all that work. And I was like, I'll just do it myself. And I'm looking at this wad of wires now, being like, I have to add a jack to the end of each one of these wires. This is going to be like 3 days. So,
How
we'll
much money
see.
are you saving? What's your billable rate by not doing that?
Yeah, I may reevaluate that decision. He said, if you wanted me to come back and do it, we'll just come back and do it and charge you for it. So, we'll see. Might get a quote for that because that's so many wires. We have 3 spots for TVs in here, and each one has 2 data and 1 coax that runs here. And now I kind of want to set up like a in-house TV station to broadcast different video on all the different channels that you can tune your TV to. It's going to be fun. I have so many plans.
Aaron is just a child in a candy store right now.
Yes. This was a character, the recurring character in previous episodes. This beam, we're keeping the beam. They just carved out a chunk to make a hole for this box. So our breakfast bar ends at about like here. So the chairs will be right here. And then the switches will be right next to the chairs.
I thought there were supposed to be outlets though.
So there will be outlets on the back, but what we're going to do is we're going to make the cap to this extend like 1 inch over the edge. And there'll be like a strip, like a really small power strip.
Okay.
So you can plug in. It'll basically have more outlets than you would otherwise because they'll be like every 6 inches. So wherever you put your blender, there's an outlet.
Great.
Yeah, it'll be cool. These random wires on the floor are for the microwave and the plug on the side. We've got big fat wire for the oven, fat wire for the range. Oh, all of these are for the under cabinet lights. So these are low voltage wires for under cabinet, toe kick lighting, over cabinet lights. He had to plan where to put that to make sure it hits the edge of the cabinet because there's going to be like a hood here, right? This is where the range is, and there's a hood up here. So there's no upper cabinets, so we have to start one there and start one there and go that way. So I like this electrician. He's been really great. He's been fun to work with and clearly knows what he's doing and is willing to accommodate my weird requests.
You do have a lot of weird requests.
This is where that intercom goes. So
Wait, how did you get a Vestaboard thing for the...
that was in the box. So they shipped in the Vestaboard box, they shipped this installation template, and some miscommunication happened here. And somebody wrote, cut out sheetrock exact. I don't know who wrote that because it wasn't here a while ago. And then they made this box. But this doesn't make any sense because the Vestaboard box needs to go up there, and the one for the TV needs to be lower because our TV is going to be on like a stand, and which means it'll be like that. So I don't know what happened there. But they're going to fix it. So they're going to move this one down. And then I put this on the wall today because I was like, I'm just going to leave this template here so that you can see exactly where this goes. Because the box has to go exactly here. It can't be centered because there's too many studs back here. So we can't put a box back there. So this is the only free space to have that box back there.
I like this little...
Oh yeah, this is the electrician's checklist of all the circuits that go in the house. And the wire, so it's 14 gauge wire, 2 conductor. Let's see, what's the interesting ones here? So like the dryer, right? Fatter wire, 3 conductor because you have the 240 volts. Oh, we added one for the car charger.
Yeah, so we don't have a car,
Yeah. But that was your dad's idea. Because he just put in a new circuit for his car charger at their house, like retrofit, which involved cutting out a lot of the drywall and like running a wire, and it was complicated. And he was like, you should just run this wire so that you can put a car charger there later if you want to, or so that like we can have one there if we ever come to your house. So there's a big fat wire now that runs from the panel down to the...
I think there's also potential that our tenants might have an electric car at some point.
Yeah, I think it's a good plan.
Karaoke room.
This is the room of overkill outlets.
So many outlets.
We have a TV spot there. We have outlets like every 4 or 5 feet. Data on every wall. Outlet on the ceiling. Oh, that was on the other side. We had to move it there because this little box here is actually going to be the access panel to the attic. And I wanted originally to do like better usable space up in the attic, but it's really not possible just because of the way that these rafters work, and also
how many wires?
How many wires there are. Like if you look up, they just started running all the wires, and like maybe we could have told them to like keep them all in one spot and run them as a channel, but
probably not, given
there's
how
just
much.
so many wires.
Yeah. Every door is a wire.
Yeah.
Every wall is a cabinet, and every door is a wire.
Every door is a wire. Every wall is a cabinet. But it's also just like, because of the way the rafters go, there's just really not, definitely can't walk up there. You can barely crawl, and they're not built to support walking on either. Like, so we have to have an access panel just to be able to do maintenance. Like you might notice a finished outlet up there. That's for if we ever need to in the future add a fan to that radon pipe. This is the radon system. This is the final pipe that comes up from all the network of pipes downstairs. And this is the final vent that goes outside. And this is meant to be a passive system, as in there's no fan. It's just gives the gas a place to go. But if we ever need to in the future, tap into that, put a fan, there's now power up there. And this is the electrician's idea. He was like, we just do this now because you never know, and like doing it now is easy, and doing it later is really expensive.
Okay.
So cool.
There seems to be a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Generally.
I'm a fan of that. This room, because we have south and west facing windows in the bedroom, I wanted to do power shades. So these are power wires for the shades. So we can do...
It's not possible to...
Yeah, it's a really bad light right there.
Here, you stand there and then just tell me again.
So up here on the corner of this west window and on the south window, we have power for the power shades, because I wanted to be able to put them on timers where every summer afternoon at 2 o'clock or whatever, they just automatically drop, because that makes such a difference in keeping the place cool without using AC.
It's been really hot lately, and Aaron has been reporting back the temperature of our karaoke room, and it's a little nerve-wracking.
It's definitely, so it's been, like yesterday it got up to, 108 outside, like official temperature reported in Portland, and this room was like 112, I think. But even when it was like
which is like 42 in Celsius for our non-US viewers.
I have the little gauge on my phone. No, it's like 45 or 46.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's wild. But even when it's getting up to like 90 degrees outside, just because it gets so much sunlight, it'll still get up to like over 100 or over like 35 or whatever, over almost 40 Celsius. And these also have the wires for the power shades, so you'll be able to drop those automatically and keep things cool.
Anything else?
One thing that everybody who's come in here so far has asked is, what are these orange pipes? Because this is not a normal color you see or size of pipe you see in houses. This is our sprinkler system. This is the commercial sprinkler system. So we have these little heads that poke down in various spots for the sprinklers.
And refresh people, why do we have a sprinkler system?
We have a sprinkler system because this is technically a commercial building. It's built to the commercial building code, which requires a sprinkler system if you are doing units that are separated by floors instead of by walls. So if you have tall, skinny units, then they only share walls. You don't need to add a sprinkler system in it, because you can get your fireproof between units just in the wall insulation. But as soon as you share floors and ceilings between units, you can't really practically get your fire separation that way. So you have to add sprinklers in order to get the fire rating.
Which is why we have a fire riser room and everything.
Special room outside just for the sprinkler system. all the valves and pipes and stuff coming into it, which we also turned into the place where the main shut-off valves for each unit's water supply are.
And a backup karaoke room.
Well, it does have a heater, a fan, a light switch, a Cat 6 cable.
It sounds better than several rooms I've rented in Portland.
All these things over here are the water meters, which are these are going into that room. I got these like actual water meters with the little spinning tickers and stuff, but they have this wire on them, so I can wire it into a system to be able to track water usage. Because we have one water pipe from the street, which means we only have one city water account for all four units. So if we ever wanted to charge tenants for water, or just know what our water usage is per building, I have 4 of these now, and we'll be able to have electronic metering for them. So I'm excited about this, and that's what that data connection is for as well. Oh, before we go, we should go upstairs to the roof because I have to show you what the electrical panel looks like because it's out of control. Up to the roof, which is now nice and cool this evening. This is the spot where the panel goes because there was not a better spot for it. And right now it's closed off and they have that one breaker for the one work outlet. But look at all these wires. Look at all these wires that go. So many. These are the 3. The water heater gets 3 separate 40 amp rated wires because it's like 120 amp water heater. Where's the one for the car charger? It's one of these thick black ones.
And then more notes from the electrician.
We have our hot tub wires that go out here. This is going to be a little shut-off breaker here, and then the rest of the wires go outside. This is for the heater, roof heater. So this will be like a crank timer. So you can turn on the roof heater for like 20 minutes and it'll shut off. Yep. There's so many wires on the roof too. Like all these switches are for the roof for outside. We're gonna have we have all these data lines because some of them are for the TV, but also ones for the intercom. So when somebody's downstairs, 3 floors down, and they buzz in on the door, we can be up on the roof and like say hi and let them in.
Aaron's been very stressed about all the wires, but you could now tell he's also very excited.
It's so much fun. It's been a lot.
He's been like ordering systems from Germany to try them out and stuff.
Yeah, I now have the door intercom system here. I have the light system for the stairs. Oh yeah, these wires are not run yet. The electrician, I think, hates me for this, but every step is going to have an LED strip under the toe kick for the stair. So every step needs its own light. I want each one to be individually addressable, so each stair can be controlled separately. So each stair has to have a wire running to it, all the way down, all the way down. Every stair all the way down is going to have its own individually addressable LED strip. So I got the little controllers for that. They just arrived. I had to go pick them up from the PO box today. They just arrived and got these 3 little boxes that all the wires are going to run into. And there's like a motion sensor at the top and the bottom of each flight. So as soon as you walk, then it'll start lighting your path up and down the stairs, which is going to be so cool.
I think that's a good place to end.
Okay. Yeah, this is it. They're doing like the last little changes from my feedback this week, and then I get one more walkthrough, and then they're going to start closing up the walls, insulation and drywall. So
it's going to start looking like a real house real soon.
Real soon.
Well.
Last chance to get any special wire requests in.
Until next time.
Build a triplex.